Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another episode of Age of Always, and the cameras are working slowly. All right, there we go. We'll fix that. We'll get that nailed down at some point. Outstanding. The cameras are functional. Sick. Welcome back for another episode of Age of Always. This is episode 12, and back again. This is the season finale, perhaps the series finale of Age of Always. We don't know. We'll find out. We play to find out. As always, if you guys like what we do here, you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon, link in the description down below. While you're clicking on that link, make sure you click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will find the Michigan bar, because Michigan is always the signal for something bad happening. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Greg unleashes some sort of unholy cosmic terror on these unsuspecting or very suspecting players that you see here before you. And two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to this channel for all kinds of cool things like mortgages and artwork and music and subscription fees for things that make this show run. With that being said, I turn things over to our illustrious game master. Greg, take us back to the Age of Always.
last to possess the wonders of Eternity Road, is dead. Randall Flagg, the walking dude, has lost both his magics and his mind. The bishop lies dead, her sacred power of resurrection in play. Roland, believed to be the last gunslinger, has forgotten the face of his father. Maggie, the good witch of the north, advisor to she who sits the Mobius throne and mother of Rob, has died. The queen is missing. In the Azure Citadel, the Mobius throne sits empty. Torn between worlds, the Age of Always is being pulled apart. The way home to Garrett is closing forever. But the Age and her champions have planned for this day nearly since the moment of its birth, and she will not go down without a fight. The prison holding the heroes shakes and cracks. New magic born from the beginning of all things has been granted to new defenders. Ricky Lewis has accepted the mantle gifted to him by Hannah Casper. And at this very moment, he channels all his might into freeing his friends. J.D. Davis, the jaunting dude, has found his magics and his mind. The power of the bishop's resurrection magic flows from J.D. into an ornate padlock held by the wizard Mitch. Scarlet Blake, the true last gunslinger, remembers the face of her father and has seen what it is to come. Rob Ott, the last of the heroic group known as the Autobots and Garrett's only remaining defender, channels the might of the primes and the magics of his mother Maggie, and bends the unbendable bars of his prison cell with his bare hands. And through the eyes of a queen born from queens, Heather Jones sees it all. The empty throne, the dying land, the danger to her friends, and maybe she sees her place in all of this. The path lies before us, my friends. All that remains is to walk it, or for the brave of heart, all that remains is to blaze your own trail, one that not even a game master can foresee. Welcome, one and all, to the series finale of Atari Twilight, The Age of Always, Episode 12, and back again. Friends, if you could go to your Spotify playlist, I would like you to play track number 2, Machine Head by Bush. I'm going to turn this down because Gavin likes to wail. My friends, chaos reigns. The wizard Mitch grabs the padlock. It begins to draw a gossamer line from outside the hallway into JD's chest as JD struggles with Chief Rugen, pulling him against the bars. JD reaches out, trying to get to the padlock, seeing what is coming from him and going into this device. But just out of reach, the wizard Mitch holds this heart-shaped padlock. And as it draws the last of this fine webbed gossamer into it, he begins to run. Rugen pulls himself away. There is a clatter as he falls to the ground. He picks himself up, and the two run down the hallway, all the while screaming from inside the cage beside Rob as Rob pulls on the bars and they begin to move and crack, the metal itself beginning to sunder at its seals. And beside him, the green-skinned Elphaba screams as the wizard Mitch runs past. You and I have unfinished business, wizard. Oh, nephew mine, together. And she throws her magics into Rob. Rob, I need you to roll a force roll. While that is occurring, I need a force roll from Ricky.
Fuck those two guys.
Rob, you pull as the energy from Elphaba and the energy that your mother gifted to you in death, you take from just in front of you the bars, you extend them out to arm's length, almost like a bird taking flight, and these bars rip from the cross housings, and a human-sized opening is busted inside this jail cell as you are now able to escape through your man-made door. But Ricky, with one success, You are concentrating. You mean to bring your friends from this place to any other place that you can think of. You're trying to use your powers gifted to you by Hannah Casper to leave. Am I correct?
He wants to take, if possible, not just his friends, but Mitch, the other witches, Wendy as well.
Okay. My friend, you do just that. You feel the road, Eternity Road, surge through you, the powers of transportation, especially here in the Age of Always, where the might and magic of that road is the source of the age. And you pull all of them together. You can feel the asphalt beneath your feet as if your feet were bare and not covered with shoes. But you cannot transport them far. In a pile, everybody that was in a jail cell crumples to the outside of the jail cell. Just as Rob steps through the opening that he made, the rest of you kind of dogpile in front, with the exception of Elphaba, who is still inside her cage. The devices that the wizard Mitch put on the outside seem to glow. She immediately falls onto them. You see her trying to tear with her own nails, rip these devices off. But every time she goes to touch them, you all can smell burning flesh. As she touches them, you can feel it burning. You can hear the heat coming off of it. But you are all outside with the inclusion of Wendy, who was in a fugue-like state. But for now, you all just kind of tumble together. I need another force roll from Ricky as everything shakes. And you realize that Elphaba is looking around too, not the source of this shaking.
2 successes.
Nice.
I want everyone else to roll and investigate. The highest success rate wins here.
One for Scarlet.
Clear your conditions too, by the way, everybody. We don't need those right now.
Oh, should I re-roll?
2 for
Yeah.
Scarlet. Ooh, nice.
I think that's the winner chicken dinner, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ricky, as the land beneath you begins to shake and quake, you cough. And only Heather sees, as you pull your hand away from your mouth, the blood on your lips and on your hand.
Ricky.
Ricky would very quietly wipe it onto the back of his jeans. I'm fine. And he looks across to the others.
You're not looking so good, Ricky.
I'm fine. Is Mitch here with us, Greg?
The wizard Mitch is gone.
The wizard Mitch. Wizard
Mitch is gone, and Chief Rugen both ran down the hall in the direction that they both came. Now, Rugen was knocked to the ground. JD was able to kind of grab him a bit as he kind of fell and stumbled away from him. You heard a clatter as he hit, but he immediately got up, looked back for a second, and then just took off with the wizard Mitch. With those success rolls, I'm going to say this, Rob, as you pull yourself out, and you had like 2 successes as well, but your positioning is a little bit different than Scarlet's. You see what he looked back for. There is a long, thin, wand-like object that seems to have rolled against the base of one of the cells. It was what he was holding.
Is what Ricky was holding?
It's what Chief Rugen was holding.
Okay.
Yeah, he got knocked down, and there was a clatter, and then he got up and ran, but he looked back for a second as if kind of, hesitating for just a moment, but he took off regardless. And when you see it more, it was that horn that he had with him that he was banging against the jail cell bars as he walked forward. JD would recognize it as a unicorn horn.
Rob's probably gonna point it out to Melissa as he's walking over to it. You know what this is?
Rugen had it. It looks like a horn.
Yeah, it does. And he's gonna pick it up.
You may write horn of a unicorn on your inventory sheet.
Unicorn.
Just confirming, Greg, we are in the central walkway of the prison. Is that correct?
Correct. It's the hallway where the Wizard Mitch and Chief Rugen were standing. The area that was like barred between your two rows of cells.
Okay. And we can obviously get to the cage that's still sealed.
The Wicked Witch's cage is still there. I will say this to Scarlet, Ricky, and Heather. JD walks up and he looks at all of you. Of course, Ricky, who is this guy? But he walks over and he says the last notes of the song. Time has come to decide. We don't have to go home, but we can't stay here.
Now, shouldn't we chase them to get what he just took? Shouldn't we go after him?
Did he take something from JD?
Yeah, you saw him draw something from JD's chest that looked like spider webs, like gossamer white light came out, but it floated almost like it was lighter than air when it came out, and he drew it into the lock that had previously held closed or, magically sealed the prison of the Wicked Witch. But as he drew it forward, as soon as it completed, he ran off. But even as he ran off, you could see kind of like trailing around wisps of this gossamer magic.
He took your power, the bishop's power, what he wanted all along.
We have
JD
to
just
chase
nods.
him. Heather's going to turn and chase after him.
Yeah. If there's even any point in doing that, like Scarlet would like immediately do that. But I don't know if there's like a door or something or.
No, it's just a long hallway, like absurdly long. Now that you're out of your cell, like it just keeps going.
Can we still see them?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is that they're still just way down there, like they're still running?
You see something down there. You definitely see forms. At this point, even with the magic inside the Age of Always, with your eyesight, it doesn't seem to transfer down into this prison. That incredible mile upon mile of sight and vision that you have up in the open air is limited to your normal eyesight here. Heather, who wears glasses, would probably be, aware of that most, having taken them off. But it's at this point that if Heather takes off, Scarlet takes off, JD is standing still, but he would reach up and grab Ricky by the shoulder just to keep you from moving. Does that work? Do you turn to now? Again, Ricky doesn't really remember JD because of prior events.
Ricky doesn't remember him. But I don't think Ricky would start to run. Ricky would be looking to Elphaba's prison and looking to the devices that Mitch had put on it. Is it something that he could rip off? Would have been his thoughts. But if JD's going to stop him, he would let him.
He would, as soon as he engages your eyesight, again, he looks at you with a look of recognition because you're Ricky. He knows Ricky. He's traveled and adventured with Ricky. The same cannot be said in the reverse order there, but he would look and he would say, the wizard has anchored the age in place. A thread remains to Garrett whenever we returned. He means to hold on to that thread even as it kills the Age of Always. Do you understand?
The thread needs to be severed.
Yes.
Is that going to stop the problems at home?
No. But it'll save the age. If that's what you want.
But it won't save home.
No. Home has its own problems.
Well, I mean, save it from the problems from here. Like, everywhere's got problems.
If you sever the thread, you cut off Garrett, your Garrett, from the age of always forever.
Mm.
But the age won't be able to impact it.
Correct.
And it can heal?
Correct.
Okay.
Rob, as you're standing there, Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, is inside of her cage, and she sees the Heather and Scarlet run past, and she nods. Her long hair that had previously been spelling out words and symbols to you is still like long. It's like she must have been in here for quite some time, as it reaches down to her knees. As she moves, these long strands kind of billow out around her, and she smiles as she looks at you. Go, oh nephew mine. I will catch up. It'll take me but a second. As she begins to pry at these things, Ricky, you see that she's making progress. And as you like investigate and move a little bit closer, there is heat, intense heat coming off of this. You think that if you try to touch these at all, there's going to be a problem. But she's able to like touch them briefly, and you see her kind of like yank and then pull her hand away, but she is making progress.
Would it? Rob kind of wants to look at the unicorn horn and look at Elphaba and ask her, "Will this help?"
I'll give this one to you free because she is your aunt. She stops for just a second. You hear it sizzle as she utters some curse in a language that you assume it's a curse, in a language that you haven't heard before. And as she pulls her hands back, just ripping them back, she looks at it and she says, "It's a unicorn's horn. As long as you hold it, you can't die."
Rob's eyes are going to get big and say, "Okay," and he's going to put it back in his pocket.
But it works only once, oh nephew mine.
Noted. You got this? You're good?
She nods. I will meet you in the air.
Okay. And he's gonna kind of look back at Ricky and JD talking and step, and I guess kind of take off running in the direction that Scarlet and Heather went.
As you run off, I will give this to Ricky. You're still surrounded by like Wendy, who's in kind of still out of it a bit. And as Rob runs off, you notice that Elphaba looks for a moment at the cage beside her that used to have Rob in it, and she sees the bars spread open, and you see her smile and nod, and you can tell that it's a look of admiration. What do you do, Ricky?
Ricky sees Rob start to move, and he looks to Wendy and says, "I don't know if you can help her, but you can either come with us or you can, I don't know." And he's going to turn to start running with Rob.
She starts to run with you. Wendy is following along behind you, but I need you to make another force roll for me, Ricky, as the land shakes.
One success.
You cough again. This time, more blood. You can taste it. You can see it on your fingers as you pull away from your mouth. Just between us, Chris, Ricky is the land. The land is being torn apart. I'm going to ask you, should you fail one of these rolls, these force rolls, the injury can either go to you or to the land. And at any time, if you want to take some of the hurt that is going to the land, You can deliberately fail one of these rolls. If you do, you will get an injured condition, but it will not affect your rolls. It's a special condition. But when you reach 5, please let me know. So in this moment, as this comes, it's almost as if you can feel yourself with the option of jumping in front of like a moving train, or, push somebody out of the way to save them, take a punch for a friend. You have that feeling. Do you do that in this moment?
If Ricky knows that it's going to tear the age apart, he would take the blow.
Then the shaking subsides for a moment, and give yourself one condition, Ricky. This is the first of 5, and it is simply called I Am the Land. Everybody else, as you're running, I believe, Heather, you are first. So Heather, as you're running, you can see figures up ahead, but just as you start to run, you can see the walls around you warp and move. And all of a sudden, almost like you're in the center of a star point, you see a cell block or a spell block branch off to the right, to the left, at 45 degrees, at 90 degrees. There is just lines upon lines of these cell blocks, some of them 2 and 3 tiered, that shoot away from your position. And every time you move about 50 yards, another one of these kind of starbursts, impossible. They would crisscross one another. You know this just by the configuration that you are looking at. But for some reason, this prison goes on and on and on. And there is no main thoroughfare. There's no main walkway or main street like there would be in like Alcatraz or someplace like that. This is just a maze. And I need you to roll me an investigate.
Ooh, 0 successes.
Do you keep running? You can hear Scarlet just a few steps behind you.
I think like we'll have a cinematic moment where we do like a full 360 spin around as she's looking down each of these hallways. I guess given no investigation, she doesn't see anyone down any of the hallways. Is that right?
You don't see nothing that catches your eye. Now, to make this more cinematic, because Greg loves that shit, go to your Spotify playlist and cue up track number 3 by Nirvana, Something in the Way. And friends, that is exactly what happens as Heather turns and stands and looks, and the music picks up just slightly as this 360 spin of the camera gives us all a Heather's eye view of what's going on and her perspective inside this prison in the age of always, a prison that could house the entirety of Garrett 100 times over. And you continue to run. Scarlet, I need you to roll me an investigate.
I can see them, correct?
Mm-hmm. You see something up ahead, but again, there are so many branches and so many twists in here. It's almost like they're just at the edge of your vision at this point.
She is running as fast as she fucking can. She is running like there's a robot war machine chasing her to try and catch up with these motherfuckers. And she is pulling out her gun and she is aiming and she is shooting.
Oh, fantastic. I will say this too. I'm just a little Greg aside. I love when G starts dropping F-bombs and then switches back to Scarlet and she's like, "Hey, asshead." Like that's the extent of, but okay. That's what tickles me as a game master. So it's very fun. Okay, so you're gonna take a shot down at one of them.
Yeah.
Roll me a D12 to take your shot.
Let's fucking go. 1 success.
You hit something down there. You hear a scream.
Okay.
But you see both of the figures disappear to the right. Because you were able to get that shot off and you did have a success, you saw the direction that they left. Somewhere up ahead, they take off to the right.
Okay. She's going to follow as long as she can.
Mm-hmm. roll me the your investigate was 1, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
As you take a couple steps, you actually fire. Now, Heather, I'm going to need you, Melissa, I'm going to need Heather to roll me. Let's see. Shit. I'm trying to think of how do you keep your shit about you? Roll me a.
Heather doesn't keep her shit about her, Greg.
Well, I mean, I'm giving you the option here. So I tell you what, this is a composure roll, I would think. So let's roll me a charm. Roll me a charm.
Charm. Okay. Cross fingers. 2 successes.
Damn.
Okay. So whether or not you keep your shit internally, it could be all your shit could be spilled internally, but on the outside, you are cool as a fucking cucumber as Scarlet literally shoots over your shoulder to hit whatever it is down there. Your hair moves not because the bullet hit it, but because the wind from the fucking discharge goes past your hair. And Scarlet, you see Heather not even fucking shrug at it, not even blink, not even have a hitch in her giddy up as she continues to run. However, just as you notice that your friend is keeping pace and continuing, despite the close proximity of a live firearm, something reaches out from one of the cells and grabs your leg. I need you to make me a charm to see if you can keep your shit about you to the point where does this trip you? Does this shock you? Does this throw you off your game?
Man, I think it wouldn't, but that's just me.
I don't either.
1 success.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
She just vaults over it like a fucking Olympic athlete, and she just keeps going.
Sure. The two of you disappear down the side. So, Rob, you were next up. I will need you to. You hear a gun, a shot go off. You're far enough away. I'm not going to make you roll to see if a little pee squirts out or anything like that, as it would for Greg. Greg would currently have urinated himself. But I need you to roll me an investigate as you pass by the point that Scarlet and Heather just ran past.
Okay, you said investigate. Let's do that.
Yes, sir.
Let's put on our investigation hat.
With 0 successes, whether Rob even recognizes this or not, he performs a similar move to Scarlet just in his normal gait. As he's running, he steps over this arm that is reaching out from one of the cells. You don't notice it, and you continue along your way.
Rob hates running, so he's just focused.
But Rob's doing well, right? Rob is, despite his aversion to running, he's kept his shit about him. That leads me to Ricky. Ricky, I need you to roll me your favorite skill, investigation.
Investigation. You've got it. No successes, Greg. No surprises.
Okay. I tell you what, I'll allow you to roll this again just because Wendy is with you.
Nope, 6 dice, no successes.
You both run past. I will let you all know this. We can talk about it. You can talk about it later, but as Ricky runs past with Wendy and disappears, the scarecrow, left arm burned from his body as he reaches up and whispers that reaches no ears. He has Dorothy. Help me. Help me help her. And the arm drops to the cage and rests as you all run by. Friends, you reach the place where you saw them turn. And I need you to make a decision in the form of an investigation roll, Heather, as you are the first one to get to this spot where you saw Rugen and the wizard Mitch head to the right.
All right.
Friends, we're having ourselves a good old-fashioned chase here in the Tales from the Loop system.
All right, she's frantically looking around. 2 successes.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Can she simultaneously hold her hands up and shout out, "Lion"?
Absolutely, yeah. Roll me a charm for that one. Again, this is just going by simple like persuasion. You know, this is just does your voice reach somebody? That could be whether or not they can actually hear you or you reach them, you know, emotionally. Go ahead and do that, but and with a success, that's very good.
And 2 for the investigate. So
yeah, it's not hard to see the blood trail. Scarlet,
is it going in the? Is it a different direction from the people we're following?
Same direction. The direction that you saw people tear off to the right, that is the direction that the blood is just dotted. And it's heavy in places too. You can see that there must be somebody is hurt pretty badly that they are bleeding this much. You don't have to be a medical professional to know that, you know, the human body at least doesn't have a lot of that stuff in it, at least not enough to spare this much. So as you start to run and you yell out lion, you hear in the opposite direction a roar.
Heather is going to immediately turn around, and as she passes Scarlet, she'll say, "I'm going to lion, keep going."
She doesn't respond, but you know she heard you.
Alrighty, so they you are splitting up the party. Oh, this is joyous. Okay, so Heather, let's look at that. Okay, I'm too giddy. Okay, so we're down the main hallway, and to the right, whoo, there goes Scarlet, and this is from the perspective of Rob and Ricky behind Rob. You see Scarlet head off to the right. You see Heather head to the right and then double back and cross the hallway in front of you and head to the left. The first one to get there is Rob. Rob, you are at the crossroads. You can either challenge the devil to a guitar or fiddle battle, or you can head right or head left, or go straight. It's up to you, bud.
He's immediately going to go left.
Okay.
He's gonna pause for a second, look left, and look right. He's gonna point right while he's running left to kind of try to signal Ricky to go that way.
Okay. So you go left and follow Heather. Ricky, you see the point. No roll for an investigation there. It's very deliberate. And a moment beat 2-3, you and Wendy get to the intersection. And again, you are faced with the choice. Rob told you to go right, but you're your own person. You can go wherever the fuck you want. You tell me what you want to do.
Ricky would turn right as he's been told to do. Rob's an adult.
Right. Yeah, I've got to listen to him. Okay, yeah, so you head right and you are heading behind Scarlet. So, my friends, here's what we're going to do. I want team leader Heather and team leader Scarlet to roll me a d6, since you were the two first to decide upon these different directions.
2.
3.
All right. Heather. And Rob, you're only about, 20, 30 feet behind her. So a lot of this will apply to you as well. You run forward and you hear the sounds of battle. No need for an investigation roll. You hear the roars of lion, and as you kind of round the corner, it's a weird kind of a fish hook type of cell block where you run down and then you curve and kind of double back, sort of like a stack of books from the paperback exchange. It's just one of those weird areas. And as you roll around the corner, you see that there is a large cell, large enough for several people, but there are jumping in and around this cell, some of them hanging on the outside, shaking the bars, are flying monkeys with pieces of tech and steampunk additions is the only thing your mind can make sense of. As they turn, a gout of steam will come out of one of these kind of geysers and exhaust ports on the side of its head. As it sprays up, you see Lion is bloodied. You see that he is in the back corner of one of these cells. 3 of these creatures are attacking him. One of his paws is drawn up to his chest, but he is rearing back on his hind legs and he is roaring. And you see that his teeth are covered with looks like grease from these things. His claws are black with the same grease, and he is swiping to keep them away. And in the corner behind him, you see the form of Randall Flagg crumpled and lying. You can see blood all over him. What do you do? And Rob, as soon as you get to this area, you see the same scene in front of you.
I think as soon as Heather gets there, she draws her sword. Does she still have her sword?
Hell yeah, you do. You're out of
Okay,
the cell
great.
now.
All right.
I mean,
Whew. All
Scarlet
right.
had her guns in the cell, so you're good.
I think she'll take it and she will jam the hilt into the lock. I presume there's a lock on the cell. Is that right?
This door is actually open. It seems
it's
that
open.
these monkeys have forced their way in, and inside this larger cell that is open, the corner is where Lion is defending the crumpled form of Randall Flagg.
In that case, she will charge in, and instead of her sword, she will pull her itty bitty booklight, and she will say "stop," and she will, I don't know, blast them. Can she blast them with?
You can roll me a d12, and then we can tell a
Let's try
story.
that. Okay. Oh, 4. I don't think she does. I don't think she can blast them.
Well, as you run in with the itty bitty booklight and you say what you say, stop, it looks like it works for a second. All of the monkeys freeze, but then they slowly turn because they had not recognized your approach. And as they all turn, you see them smile with metallic fangs now, and the steam and these gears. You can hear servos whirring as they're, as their wings kind of move back and forth and they hop around. And as they move towards you, you realize that all you have done is gain their attention. I will allow you to push this roll or use luck if you have it.
We're gonna push.
Okay.
Do I take my, well, condition doesn't matter in this case anyway.
Right.
3.
Okay.
I am gonna take scared, because that's what Heather does. And and so I have their attention.
You do.
Does it look like they will like attack me?
Yeah, I'll give it to you for free. It certainly looks like they're moving in that direction to attack. And as soon as you appear, you see Lion. Again, it's a kind of a default expression for the Cowardly Lion, but he looks terrified, but not for himself, as he sees them all start to move towards you. And you hear him yell out, "Hit her!"
Heather's going to wave her itty bitty booklight with the light lit, hoping to keep their attention, and then is going to back out of the cell.
Okay.
Just say, you can't get me, you can't catch me.
They all look at one another like they understood exactly what you just said, and all of them at the same time, they draw a huge, almost like a death's head grin that extends almost to their ears. All of these metallic and filed and sharpened razor teeth looking back at you. Rob, that's what you see as you step forward, just as Heather's waving the itty bitty booklight, and 6 of these flying monkeys from hell turn to look at her, and she dares them to catch her. Rob, what would you like to do, buddy?
So if he's coming around the corner in a dead sprint and he sees this and they're starting to kind of coagulate, and I guess looks like they're about to kind of get up on her, he's not going to slow down, and he's going to kind of Leroy Jenkins, Kool-Aid Man, try to just jump and throw his whole body into him.
Roll me a force, my friend, and give yourself a bonus, because give yourself a bonus. I think you kind of won correct, because you had a head of steam as you were coming in here, and you just said you didn't slow down.
No, it was heat of the moment. Like, oh no, here we got to do this.
You know this can't be true, Heather. I mean, you couldn't possibly have heard what you hear, but your ears ring with this. It almost sounds like a horn, an air horn from a semi truck as Rob runs past you and busts through the first two that thought, aha, we're gonna catch this bitch. She dared us. And they're the ones that pay the price for their hubris as they get obliterated. It sounds like somebody throwing like nuts and bolts across the floor, which is exactly what it looks like too, as two of these creatures explode as, you know, the self-described Kool-Aid man explodes into the cell. And Rob, you are among the remaining 4 of these monkeys who now see you not as something fun to chase after, but as a viable threat, as 33% of their number are gone. My friends, you took them by surprise, so I will give you another chance to do something, Heather, as you see Rob now in the midst of them, standing over 2 of their crushed forms.
Heather will attempt to blast them again with a vibrant, bright light from her itty bitty book light. Let's see how that goes.
Give me a D12.
11
is 2 successes. And so the very first thing that you said when you got there was stop. And Rob, as you burst through the 2 of them and you see the other 4, for a moment, a look of fear across their very alien features, their half robotic forms, they begin to jump towards you. And just like that, they freeze in place. One of them's only on 1 foot, the tips of its toes, and you see it lose balance and fall, but it maintains the exact same form that it had. You guys are out of combat for now. Lion collapses.
Lion, Mr. Flag, maybe Rob, can you help get Mr. Flag? And she goes to Lion and strokes his big lion cheeks. You okay, Lion?
He's breathing very heavily. You hear him, I'm okay, just tired, Heater.
You gotta get out of the cell in case they wake up again. Can you get up? Do you want me to help?
And you see him, he starts to, he pulls himself up, but like a dog that's kind of dragging its legs, you know, he's pulling himself towards the door. He's making relatively good time because he's a massive fucking cat, but you can tell now that he is very injured. He took many, many swipes from these things. And Rob, as you move forward, you realize that the crumpled denim-clad form of Randall Flagg is covering somebody else.
He's gonna kind of walk over to him and pull him off.
Randall does not move as you pull him off. He is completely dead weight. And Heather looks back at you from the corner. An older Heather. A Heather of maybe 50 years. She is very pale with dark circles under and around her eyes. She can see the sunken quality of her cheeks. And as she sees Heather, tears begin to spring from her eyes. My child. Let's cut to the other group.
What?
Scarlet, you are hauling ass down this direction. About 50 feet behind you, Ricky and Wendy are, you could probably hear their footfalls, but again, you're not really sure who that is unless you can look over for free and see it's Ricky and Wendy. But as you run forward, you see that the trail of blood is getting deeper. And by that, I mean there are just larger drops. And you round a corner and you see Rugen face down.
And he's got a wound, bullet wound, I take it?
Seems to be almost in the middle of his back.
G says good. Scarlet takes it in as she's coming up. I think she's got a shocked look on her face. And then she looks forward and vaults over him and continues after Casey.
Moments later, Ricky, you and Wendy, who is basically along for the ride. She's just kind of latched on to you. I'll let you roll and empathize if you are curious as to why she did that. But you see this fallen form, and it doesn't take you long to realize it's Rugen.
I would love to roll that empathize, Greg. No successes though. When he gets to Rugen, is there an open cell next to where he's fallen?
Several.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I'm sorry, several. Yeah, there are several open, and the doors are open. They're not even locked. They're kind of like rolled back.
Ricky's going to come to a stop at Rugen, watching Scarlet run. And he wants to drag Rugen into one of the cells. And if he can, he will close the door behind him and then follow after Scarlet.
Absolutely. You can absolutely do this. And as you put him in there, you realize that the bullet wound in his back, as soon as you start to move him, he is covered in wounds. You see your arrow wound. You see numerous other cuts that would have been terminal or fatal wounds that seem to have all opened along Rugen's body. He is dead 100 times over. But you slide him in there and close the door behind him. It is locked as you check it.
All right, perfect. He would then turn to, if he can still see the direction that Scarlet has gone, he will chase after again.
Absolutely. I need you to roll me a force roll. Unless, of course, you want to fail this.
Well, I'll take the successful ones.
Okay.
Scarlet will shoot again if she has a chance.
You do not see anybody ahead, and there is no blood trail to follow at this point. Roll me and investigate as you reach your first junction. There's 2 hallways to the right, 1 to the left, and several at various other points.
Okay, I'm just trying to think if there's any other bullshit thing I could throw in here. I got nothing. 3 successes.
Woo! With 3 successes, as you look around, and you notice, for whatever reason, your eye barely picks up on it. You see just one little strand, almost like, and if you ever played The Witcher, whenever you've following a smell to something, you know, that little waft, that little kind of cartoonish, like, you know, barely visible line, and you realize it's a bit of that magic. It's going down the hallway to the right. And you definitely turn and start moving down that way. Ricky, you see that as you all continue your run in that direction. You do not, however, see Mitch. You just see that residue.
Okay.
To the other jail cell as the queen, she who sits the Mobius throne, looks at her child. And friends, if you could do me a favor, please go to your Spotify playlist. And if you could, let's go down to, I don't know, track number 14. Every little thing she does is magic, please. She looks up at you, Heather. My sweet baby girl, you are almost free. Go now and live. Live for all of us who've sat the throne.
You have to get out of that cell now because you can't die. You can't die before we figure out how to break all of this out. Okay, so come on out and help Rob get Mr. Flag, please.
You can see that she is very weak. Roll me an empathize. And do this with a D12. This is your magic.
Oh.
She's dying.
What? No, stop. Heather has her arms around Lion, and she pauses. She doesn't know what to do, and so she lets him go and approaches her mother and kneels down next to her. What are you? You're gonna come with. You're gonna stand up with me, okay? All right, Mom, me.
She reaches up, and if you allow it, she cups your face. And the touch and the smell of her skin prompts nostalgia from very early childhood of comfort and love. I will go with you. We're all free.
Wait, how? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry what I said before, okay? I'm sorry.
You can feel the fingertips, weak as they are, they press into your skin. This was the only way to get you free.
Don't go. I don't know what you're talking about, but you can't go now.
We are cursed to sit the Mobius throne. I wanted more for you.
But what happened? What did you do?
I left the throne.
You. Okay.
They told me you were here. I was scared. I sent your sister, but she forgot, and now they've taken her.
What? VH?
She looks.
What?
A slight smile touches her lips. Yes.
Who took her? What?
She's the thread.
Oh.
She
Wait.
sent you all back and opened the door.
What do we have to do? Do we take her to Garrett? Tell me more. I don't understand, please. And, I can heal you. And Heather is going to try to pull whatever magic she can. She's never done any healing magic, but she's going to do the best she can.
With a 12 before, you don't have that. You do not have that power.
Oh.
But with a 12, I will give you this, because you are so in tuned with the magic of the age of always. If you could get her back to the throne, that would keep her alive. But you don't think she has time.
I need Rob, I need Ricky. Can you go get Ricky? Oh, no, can you help me carry her? We need to carry her to Ricky.
Yeah, he went down the other hallway. We can hear.
You pick her up. I'm gonna go get him.
All right. Okay, and he's gonna pick her up over his shoulder, but she's pressing on something in his pocket, so he's gonna pull the horn out and be like, "Hold this," and put the horn in her pocket, or in her belt, or whatever.
Why don't you roll me a D12, Frags?
Okay. That's a 12.
Nice.
Let's put a little pin in that for right now. As you look around, Lion is hurt. Lion can move, but he is very slow. And Flag is not moving at all.
Heather's already started doing going with the plan that she told Rob. She is running down to go get Ricky, and I mean, she doesn't know what's going on with the horn, so she runs.
When you run and kind of move out of the area, you see a figure standing in the hallway right at that fish hook bend, and it's JD. And he
JD, what?
walks forward.
What? Run with me. Run with me.
Different paths.
Huh? What? Okay, where are you going? What?
No.
What?
Scarlet and Ricky are on a different path.
What? I have to get my mother, I think. I need to get her back to the throne. Can you help me, JD?
Of course.
Okay, well, she's back here. What?
You see JD walk past you back into the cell that you exited. He nods at Rob, and you see him bend down over Flag. You see him reach down. He picks up a hat, and you see him put it on. And as he stands up and looks at you, you realize the body of Randall Flagg is gone. And for the first time, now that the magics have faded, now that the moments have passed, JD and Randall Flagg are the same person.
Do I just realize now that they're the same person, or have they now merged into being the same person?
Yes, to both.
And does JD look like his age, or does he look like Flagg's age?
He looks like he's Rob's age. Just between the two.
Okay, this is a lot, but what now?
He reaches down and kind of gets under the queen as well. And you see that there are tears on his cheeks as he looks at her face as the two of you are kind of cradling the queen. And roll me a investigate, because he whispers something to her. Rob, you may do so with your D12, because this is a literally going on right by your head.
Dang it.
You can push and lock and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I automatically hear it. Is that what you said?
Roll me a D12 just to see if you pick up on it. Yeah, you have more of a chance, I should say. Holy shit! Well, you hear clear as day as whoever the walking dude is standing there, he leans down and he says, "I am with you, my love." That's it. Let's cut back to the other group, as I'm assuming you all are trying to make your way best possible time back where you came. Everybody that was with Heather and Rob. I need another investigate roll and an investigate roll from Scarlet and a force roll from Ricky, please.
I will take the failure, Greg.
3
All right.
successes, Scarlet.
Damn. Okay. So yeah, you are absolutely, you can see him.
Well.
You see him for just a second as he heads to the left around a corner, and you actually see a look. What's that?
She shoots.
Take your shot.
Oh, missed.
As you see the head look back, and I'm going to take my glasses off for this one. You see the head look back and go, like, how the fuck are you keeping up? And right when he looks like that, you see a an absolute spark go off from one of the bars,
Yeah.
just as his face kind of, you're just tracking, and you just had another inch, you would have hit him, but you miss. Unless, of course, you want to push it or something, or roll luck.
I burned my luck, remember?
Well, sure, but if you want to push it, you can certainly do that.
I'll push it. Sorry, what am I pushing? To catch him or to shoot him?
To shoot him, I'm assuming. Yeah, you're still far enough away that you're not within like arm's reach or anything, but if you want to shoot him, this is absolutely something you can push.
I do. Just give me a second. My monitor kind of is going crazy. Okay. And I'm rerolling my D12.
D12, yes, please.
Nope.
Well, you hear like a double ricochet, and I'm gonna.
She's got two guns, but she's like that.
Right, you take the second shot, and I'll take a little agency away from Mike when you would hear a fuck kind of come back down through the hallway, because that was super close, double kill. So anyhow, as you're running, both of these shots go off. Ricky, you see Scarlet is not hesitating. As soon as she sees anything, she's firing, and you just pulled the body of Rugen into a fucking room. And as you're doing this, you cough, and blood doesn't dabble on your lips. It gouts out of your mouth for a second as you almost vomit, and this bright red blood comes out and kind of coats the front of your shirt. You don't feel bad, but something is obviously very wrong. And for a moment, I'm assuming, Scarlet, you're continuing your flight, right? You're continuing to run.
Yeah, if I had not seen him, she probably would have given up. But the fact that she's close enough to actually shoot him or shoot at him, I think she would keep going.
I'm going to have Ricky roll and investigate with his D12.
Nope, that's a 5.
Hey, listen, you all had like 12, 12, 12, so these 5s are fine with me, right?
Yeah.
Something kind of passes in and out of your knowing for a second. Like it's something that you think you should know, Ricky, but it's sort of like an experience thing. You just don't have a lot of experience with, these powers and things like that. So it's kind of like they're a second, gone a second. But I will let you re-roll it here in a little bit of time as you have some moments to think about it. But roll me another investigate as you round the corner, Scarlet, and you see Scarlet head to the left as she disappears.
And like as she's running, like she hears way back, even though it technically wasn't that long ago for her, she hears Randall's voice that first day in the glade when he talked to her about learning war and how she'll have to protect her friends. His exact words are escaping me now, but she hears his voice in her head as she's doing this. One success.
Okay, so when you round the corner, you don't see anything. You don't see your prey. Your prey has gone to ground or it was able to evade this current line of sight. But what you do see is an exit from the prison. You don't know if that's where he went, but there is an exit up ahead. You can see what looks to be sunlight, pale and weak, coming through this opening of some kind, this portal. But as you're running, you see clearly defined, as if you're in a hospital back in Garrett, morgue.
Fuck. I think she's running, and then when she turns that corner and he's gone, I feel like she knows he shouldn't have been gone. Like she was close enough where she should have been able to see him, and she doesn't. So I think she checks her stride and she slows. And she sees this door.
The door is open. The sign
think-
above it says morgue, yeah.
Yeah, I think she'll stop in front of the door and she like kind of gives like ah in frustration and like runs her hands through her hair, so he walks in a circle, breathing heavily. It's like no matter how hard she freaking tried, she couldn't get him. And then she just pauses and looks at this door and then like slowly steps forward and like is gonna push the door and peek inside.
You see lying on several metal slabs, something like you would see directly out of Garrett. You see Dorothy, Alice, and you.
I think she pushes the door open all the way and then steps inside.
Ricky, you would see her enter this area.
I think,
And
I think she closes the door behind her. Like she slams it behind her.
You could see too that it's called, it's designated as the morgue. And you would see the door slam behind her.
I think as Ricky's running along, when he coughed up the blood, he would have stumbled a bit, which is why he didn't keep up with Scarlet as well. As he stumbles and gets himself going again, he's going to look to Wendy before he reaches that morgue and just says, we need to get to whoever's the thread. Where? How?
Roll me an empathize as you try to reach her. Or a charm too, I'll take.
Charm. Let's go with charm. 2 successes.
Fantastic. It's almost like when you're talking to her, she starts to drift a little bit and you have to do one of these, and she kind of comes back and she looks at you and says, his citadel, his fortress, that's where he would put anything. All of his secrets. You would know this place to be the Loop.
Is that where he's going to go now? That he's got the bishop's power?
You can tell she doesn't know the answer, and it's definitely a guess, but it's an educated one. That's where he always goes.
How far is it?
Not. And you can tell that she's going to give you like a by the crows fly type of distance. And she just says, a minute, and points in the direction of the opening. The exit from the prison.
Ooh. Is the door a door with a handle to the morgue, or is it just a swing door?
It's a swing door.
He's going to try and step up his pace a bit, and he's going to hit the door so that it opens slightly, and he just shouts in. He's heading to the Loop. Oh, sorry, he's heading to the Citadel, and he runs for the door.
I would like you to roll me and investigate. And this is not for you. This is for your friend Wendy, as you open the door to say that.
1 success. Wendy is better at investigating.
Fantastic. Boy, this is a great one to succeed at. As the door opens, Wendy happens to glance through it and sees the bodies of Dorothy and Alice. And you hear her scream. What do you do?
He would, at that, definitely stop in his tracks and turns back to run into that room.
Let's turn back time a little bit. We have about 30 seconds here where Scarlett's alone in the room before the opening, the overture of where you're going to be going, but also the what Wendy would see. Scarlett, you have this time. What do you do?
I think she steps towards the gunslinger, and she's got the wound in her head.
She does not.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Scarlett didn't know about that anyway. So she just walks forward, and does she have an eye patch?
She does.
Okay. So she recognizes her. And I think she touches her face. And she's, "Are you real?" And then she might even feel for her pulse.
You feel one. And the eye, the good eye, flutters open. I hope so.
What are you doing here? What? Are you okay? Can you get up?
I don't seem to be able to move. I must be mostly dead.
Sorry, Greg, you're a little choppy. Can you repeat what she's saying?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. She said, I can't move. I must be mostly dead. And you remember that as the Wizard Mitch ran through his prison, just past the morgue, he was trailing Dahmer magic all over the fucking place. Magic that he stole from JD.
Oh, fuck yeah. Shit.
The door bursts open and you hear he's heading towards the Citadel from Ricky. And you hear a scream from Wendy as she runs into the space and throws her arms over Dot and Alice. And both of their eyes flutter open. What's going on? And Wendy looks at them in surprise as the resurrection magic of the bishop has brought everyone in the morgue back to life. And somewhere down the length of the prison, Rugen is shaking some fucking bars going, "What the fuck?" And he's searching for keys. As he too was a beneficiary of this little ploy, but at this time he's fucked because Ricky was Johnny on the spot and locked him the fuck up. So
good job. Fuck.
that's the last you'll see of Rugen. I'll just give you that heads up.
When Ricky sees them open their eyes or sees them, do they sit up at all?
No, they all seem to be able to talk and move their eyes. This is the mostly dead condition, made famous by the Princess Bride.
If he hears them, he's going to turn and run for the exit.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, I'm reading something. Hold on. Gotcha. Okay, very good. Very good. I did that as subtly as I could, everybody. I don't know if you know that I was reading something, but I was that just a glitch. I'm sure.
Mike is so
all right.
Though.
All right, everyone. So at this moment, Chris, what did you want to do with Ricky as he figured this all out and sees that they're not moving, but they're alive? Yay, sort of, as the entire place shakes.
When he sees they're alive, he's going to turn and run for the exit. He's heading to the Citadel.
Ricky, you burst out into the sunlight and chaos is all that can be defined. As you open the door, you just hear screaming. You hear people from Emerald City are running this way and that. Buildings are collapsing. And as you kind of pop out and look around and try to see where everything is, you notice that you're close enough to the main gate that you can see, you know, the way that like where the attack came from, you know, where JD was positioned, where you guys kind of all stood, where those kind of moving streets took people away from the problems. But as you were sitting there and you look towards the opening, you know, there are no walls around Emerald City per se, but there are taller buildings around the periphery, and hanging from one of them is your dad. Not by his neck. He is alive, it seems, but he is placed there as a warning.
Is he tied to something like as in, is there a single cord holding him, or is it like multiple cords holding him?
There seems to be one single cord holding him about 10 feet off the ground on this side of the building. There are several other people tied up there too. You would recognize them as Jerry Baker, George Butts, you know, various incarnations of those Autobots that traveled and defended Garrett with Rob. These are all members of the False who had been taken captive and now stand as an example for the rest of the Age of Always. You would also notice too that the walkways that ran towards the Citadel now seem to be running away from it.
He is going to run towards the people that he recognizes on the wall. And he's going to stop at not a far distance, but enough so that he can get a decent shot. And he's going to try and hit the ropes holding. I think he's going to start with Jerry. His concern is his dad getting injured in a fall. So he's going to start with Jerry and George.
Gotcha. So yeah, just roll me for as many people as you want to shoot. Roll me D12s. If you get a 10 or above, I'll let you get everybody you want in whatever order you'd like.
1 D12. Come on, 12s. 7.
The first person drops. The Jerry that you were aiming at, you're able to use your arrow to take out his rope. He drops to the ground and kind of shakes himself off and looks at you and doesn't question anything because he's Jerry and you did him a favor. And so other people, this is Jerry. He is going to accept the fact that you're the least on his asshole list. There are people much higher than you that he has a bigger bone to pick with. Jerry's are pretty much the same across the whole multiverse, but this one in particular has a very striking similarity and resemblance to the one from Garrett Prime. So, you know, as he lands, he just looks up and basically is awaiting his orders because he figures he must be on his side.
He's going to shout to him, try and catch them, and he's going to try and get George down next.
Yeah, he seems reluctant to do so because it's George, but as soon as you take the shot, I'm gonna allow you to get it. He catches George kind of half-assed, so George kind of falls a little bit. They bicker for a second, and they both kind of get in position to grab your father, which is what I assume you're going for.
He would, yes. Do you want another D12, Greg, for this?
Yeah, roll me a D12. This is just a show off for your dad. You're gonna get him down no matter what, but let's see what the old man sees.
A 7.
He sees a good shot.
It's going to be a 1.
Yeah, you kill him. Okay. So as he drops down, they both catch him, and Mr. Lewis is now with you. He seems a little worse for wear. He has been beaten up, but he is okay. And at this point, my friend, I want you to roll a force or decide not to.
I will decide not to, Greg.
All right, so that's 3.
That's 3.
The shaking begins to erupt across the city, and you know that it's to the point where it's going to start bringing more buildings down, but it subsides. And you don't know when you fell to your knees, but both Jerry and George and your dad are helping you stand back up. As we go back inside the prison, Scarlet, You are in the morgue for right now. The gunslinger is there, Wendy is there, Alice and Dorothy are there. The three that are on the slabs cannot move. Be thinking about what you would like to do as we follow back inside to Rob and Heather and JD. What do you all do? I'll allow you to retrace your steps to the blood if you would like.
JD, what did you say? You said you knew how to get us there. Which way do we go?
This way. And you would see the stained blood. You would hear somebody banging on a cage as you walk by Rugen, who is inside one of the jail cells, and he's screaming, "Let me out! Let me the fuck out of here!"
Is Lion able to follow along?
Much slower, but I hate to say it, but Lion is definitely slowing you down.
Heather's going to use that 2 she rolled on her charm in order to entirely ignore Rugen as they walk past his cell.
Oh, that's awesome. That pisses him off to no end. Yeah, he's just banging, trying to get your attention as you stone cold just walk right past him. Rob, of course, you recognize Chief Rugen as the prick that almost killed Ben. Same guy. He just happens to be here in Oz because he's a universal dickhead no matter where he pops up. But he's there and he's as soon as Heather walks by and doesn't pay any attention to him, he turns his sights, sets his sights on you. You! Get me the fuck out of here!
Rob is gonna reach in his pocket and pull out one of these. And
Oh, yeah. So he just flips out. He has just lost his shit. He's banging against the cage. He's reaching forward to try to get anything. And he sees the horn that is stuck into the queen. And you see him trying to reach for that. But he doesn't get anywhere close to it as you go by. The screams, curses fade away as you all move closer. And JD leads you to a hallway that there is a room identified as the morgue on one side.
Why would we be coming here?
JD points forward towards the light. That's the way out. That's the way back to Garrett.
Okay, well, all right, let's go.
The door is closed. You hear crying and talking from inside of it. I will let you roll and investigate. If you get any successes whatsoever, you will recognize the voice to be Scarlet's at the very least. Whether it's Gunslinger Scarlet or your Scarlet remains to be seen, but you'd recognize somebody's voice.
So Heather will fling the door open, assuming it's her friends, and will immediately say, "We've got to go. We've got to get to the throne."
Scarlet, you would, as the door to the morgue would come open, you would see Heather there now. But this moment is yours, and you've had a couple by yourself. So is there anything you say to the gunslinger who is alive now? It seems to be a surprise even to her.
Yeah, I think she has a couple moments, and she would look her up and down. What happened?
I lost.
To who?
Roland. He was too good.
He was... So he got away? He's coming for Randall, though.
No, he's not. Not the Randall you're thinking of. And that's when the door opens, and silhouetted behind, you see an older JD that looks quite a bit like Randall Flagg. You see the one good eye of the gunslinger kind of, the head looks up, and then it rolls over to you and says, "He's here for him."
Casey?
She nods towards JD.
Oh, Roland is here for him. Will he get him?
I don't know. I'm past the pages of my story.
I think she just looks at her and she goes, I need to go.
We don't have time for this. We need to go.
Then go, Heather. I'll catch up. And then
Heather goes.
Okay.
she turns back to her. Yeah, I need to go.
I'll be okay. I can't get any worse.
Thanks for these, by the way. And she motions to the guns.
You earned those. If I'm alive and there is another empty silver table, he could have put us both here. I know I hit him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta go. And I'm not gonna let us down. And she will lean in and give her a kiss on the cheek, and then she will turn and run out.
All right, so as everyone exits the prison, cue up State of Love and Trust, everybody, on your Spotify playlist as we get into what is known as the Mad Dash. Everyone get ready to make your decisions for your characters. Rob, you've got a big one. Okay, so as we go outside and the aforementioned chaos is everywhere, let me explain to you what you have in store for you. Because you have a wonderful adversary in the Wizard Mitch, the loop that dominates the skyline of the Emerald City of EC now has moving walkways that are moving away from it pretty rapidly, as the entire surface streets seem to want to expel anything or keep anything from getting to the loop. So running towards it is very, very difficult. In addition to that, there seem to be these mecha monkeys motherfucking everywhere. As they fly around, they're attacking the population. It's absolute and utter chaos here in Emerald City. And also, as you make it to the outside, you see that there is a green-skinned witch who is flying around on a broom, wrecking shit in this area as she is dropping these mecha monkeys as they get close to her. And as soon as she sees Rob exit from the prison, you hear her scream down to you, Rob, "Join me, oh nephew mine." And she basically like reaches out towards you from about a half mile up. Somehow you hear her as she like booms her voice to you.
So at this point, I think Rob's still carrying the queen. He's gonna look at, I guess, JD, and like, you want to carry your love here, man?
Yeah, he takes her in almost like a threshold, like newlywed kind of hold.
And I just kind of
roll me a d12.
Eight.
Much like how to put this, witches travel very differently in Oz. Some of them buy brooms, some of them buy bubbles. Bubbles are also clear and crystalline. And that is what you all see appear underneath the feet of Rob Ott as an almost green goblin-like glider of crystal lifts him up into the sky. While his mother was here, she flew in crystals too. But now he has her power, and fly he can. You are aloft, my friend. Do you mean to fight, or do you mean to use your new power in some other way? I leave that up to you. As everyone else, you are together. How do you get where you need to go in this moment of mania?
Well, the first thing Rob's going to do is a barrel roll, just to see if he can.
Absolutely.
Because it's just he's
you dropped your death, right?
Oh, okay, all right, that's neat. And then he's gonna, I guess,
right.
I guess he's gonna fly up to Auntie Elfie and be like, okay, now what?
She, augmented by the green, this brilliant white smile, as her hair is just flying everywhere on this broom, and she starts lancing lightning out of her fingers, and she says, "Learn as you go, oh nephew mine." And she turns as if addressing Oz, addressing the Emerald City, the Age of Always in its entirety, as she screams out, "We are together again, unlimited." Bud, you tell your own story. There are a million monkeys up here, and you have passed the test. You are ready to wreck shit as the beneficiary of Maggie's magic. And so the rest of you bear witness to whatever the fuck is going on in the skies, because the distractions and problems that the mecha monkeys were going to give you have been eliminated by nephew and aunt as they start kicking ass.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna pretty much go around laying down cover fire, I guess, as if my friends want to decide to make their way across the floating platforms.
Absolutely. So you guys are going to have no hindrances now, as the battle in the sky has been taken care of. But I need to know, Keystones, what do you do in this moment? The queen is hurt. JD has her, but this is your story, and the choice is quickly coming, my friends. If the Age of Always remains tethered to Garrett Prime, it will be destroyed. If it is released from this tether, we'll see. Go ahead, bud.
Ricky is with George and Jerry and his dad. As he took that last blow, he gets up, he's still on his knees, and he looks up to them and says, "The age is dying, and I don't know how long I can keep it alive for. We need to get to Casey, and we need to find whatever he's tying to Garrett, and we need to sever that thread. Help where you can, but we need to sever the thread." And he's going to try and stand.
Roll leadership.
Leadership.
Are we all there?
One success.
You have conscripted the Autobots across the multiverse as they begin to fall in line. Again, George might offer some complaints and whatnot, but as Jerry falls in, he understands that you're not that much of an asshole, and he likes that. So he will absolutely do what you have to say, and he was here to fight anyway. So, he's ready to keep going. As they all start forming in, and they're helping as much as they can. But now it's up to you. You are able to stand, but you feel your strength waning now. Now it is affecting you. Now it is something that hurts. But you're Ricky Lewis. You come from the man standing to your right who always leans and never sits. You don't sit down. You don't stop the job until it's done. And therefore, you take no penalties from your roles. But my friend, as much as the queen is, Ricky Lewis is dying.
as he stands and the others start to move on, he starts to not necessarily run, because I think running at this point is going to be difficult for him, but he's going to try and move at as fast a pace as he can towards the beginning of those travelators. He doesn't stop. He tries to go.
Okay. No investigation roll needed from anybody else. You know Ricky too well. Ricky is hurt, and he is hurt bad. You see the blood on the front of his shirt. You see the uncertain nature of his gait as he's stumbling, almost zombie-like, stiff-legged a couple times, but just fucking stubborn. He is born from the Western Maryland mountains of stone. He has tilled that earth. He will not go down until there's no way to get back up. You all see this, but my Keystones, what do you do? The age of always, Garrett Prime, hang with your decisions.
Well, we need to head to the loop, right?
That's up to Heather. The loop is not the Azure Citadel.
Yeah, so one direction is the Azure Citadel and the other one is the loop. I don't think Heather even knows that they need to go to the loop. She knows they need to go to the Azure Citadel. So she's going to turn to Lion, and she's going to say, and she's going to rest her forehead on Lion's forehead, and she's going to say, Lion, my friend, it's always been you and me. It's always been you and me. You were always the one who was there for me. And I know that we're going to be together no matter what. Someday in the future, it's going to happen. But I need you to stay right here for now, because you're so slow, and she's not doing well.
He looks at you with eyes of complete understanding and trust. This is a companion that will never, ever contradict or debate something that you say. And understand, I'll try to keep up. I'll catch up. I'll just be a little bit behind.
We got a little bit of robot from you, Greg. So I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you say it again?
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, it's just that the Lion said that he would try to keep up, but he would stay wherever you told him to, because he is, he believes you and trusts you implicitly.
Okay, then you can try to keep up, but we can't slow down, okay? I love you, Lion.
You can tell. No, go ahead. I'll follow you. And you can tell he puts his nose to the ground and just starts following your scent. Like, that's how he's gonna work at that direction.
So then she turns to JD and says, "Let's go."
He stops for a moment. Are you staying here?
Staying here? No, I'm going with you to the Azure Citadel.
Are you staying here, Heather? If you go to the Citadel, you'll be staying in the Age of Always.
This is my home. This is where you are. It's where I am. And she gestures at her mother and Lion and Ricky.
You can see him struggling with his own principles. And he finally says, say goodbye to them.
Who?
He looks at Ricky and Scarlet.
What do you mean?
You see a tear come from underneath his sunglasses. You won't see them again.
Wait, I have to choose right now? I have to choose?
The age will be severed from Garrett.
And you're not gonna, okay? Can you'll make her safe? Can you make her safe? And
I
Lionel,
can't.
you
He
can't?
shakes his head. I'm going back.
You, okay,
He holds up your mom, who is presumably passed out. I am in the service to the Queen. I will see this through.
if I stay, will she live?
Someone must always sit the Mobius throne. Scarlet and Ricky, you would see this discussion going on. Ricky, your vision's kind of coming in and out a little bit, but you would see this pretty intense conversation.
Sweet Jesus. She steps forward and she's just like, Heather, don't worry about it. Never say never, right?
Don't worry about what, Scarlet?
If you need to stay, don't listen to what he says. Since when do you ever listen to what he says? If what he's saying is true, then we'll find our own way.
Yeah. Heather throws herself at Scarlet and gives her a big hug, not even waiting for consent. Hope that's all right. And
I was going to say it too.
And then she pulls a book out of her bag, and the book on the cover it says believe, and she hands it to Scarlet, and she says, I've got to go. I'll see you again in very soon. I'll see you very soon. And she looks at JD, and she says, let's go.
Wait. And when she goes, before Scarlet turns away and starts heading towards the loop, she goes, Heather, stay strong. And she keeps going.
Scarlet, you quickly catch up to Ricky. Ricky is stumbling at this point. Ricky, I need you to make another force roll or decide not to.
I think I'm going to roll force, Greg.
Okay.
2 successes.
You are able to pull yourself up a little bit, and you're able to regain a bit of your strength as several buildings topple in Emerald City, and you hear screaming as huge fissures erupt in the ground, eating some of these beautifully kind of gold green influenced buildings as they begin to fall in. In this particular moment, the land itself taking the punishment. Scarlet and Ricky.
Scarlet looks at him, and I think she might shoot like at a couple monkeys, just like casually taking them out because there's like a million of them.
Oh yeah, you drop them. As many as you want to shoot, you drop them.
And she goes up to Ricky. She's like, are you hurt or are you injured? Fourth quarter, let's go.
I think it's worse than that, but I'm with you. Let's go.
She will put her arm like under his arms, or she's gonna support him so he can move faster.
Absolutely. Is there any way that you want to try to make this trip faster? You're going to be able to kind of like negotiate around some of these like treadmill things that are going on, but they are going to definitely slow you down unless you can figure out something else, which of course I will let you.
How big are these bloody monkeys?
How big are they? Like, are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Like
Could they?
human size, or like they like chimpanzee size, or what?
I think what you're asking is, can they carry a Scarlet? Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
like can we like jump and like grab onto one and like like get like a short little ride?
I will absolutely let you try. Why don't you roll me a move, and this successful move will have you grab a monkey, and the more successes you have is that monkey decides to fly in the direction you need it to fly.
Oh shit. Or if Rob can come and give them a lift or something like that, or unless he's busy. All right, move.
These are all options open to you, sure.
Yeah, because she doesn't have, like, she has the bat. That's about it. But she's got to hold on to Ricky too. So, but yeah, my idea is that like the monkeys are not really aware of what they're doing. They're like, because they're in the fight with the two, the aunt and the nephew here. So they're like hitching a ride and like getting a boost.
Right. This is like a video game, like platforming level. Yes, got it.
I think she'll push that. Should I get
Go right ahead.
3 successes? Oh! She fucks up her rotator cuff a little bit, but she gets in there.
I will allow, with 3 successes, I will allow you, because as Mike stated, these sumbitches are strong as hell. They were carrying robots in to fight the false. So they can in fact, they might not even are aware of like you for a second or two, because you're obviously much lighter than huge robots. But you, and if you reach down and grab hold of Ricky, you guys are carried basically to the doorstep of the loop with 3 successes. So you two are gone, and Heather, you would see the two of them basically fly off. Rob, you would see that they have made it to the loop, and Elphaba seems to have everything in hand in the city here. What would you like to do at this point, as you see that they've made it to the loop, and you know that this fake fucking Mitch is inside somewhere, and they're going to face him? What would you like to do? Robert!
My bad. I did not hear you call my name.
For a second, I thought you were talking to me. I'm like, I don't think you're talking to me.
That's why I was lost in fighting monkeys. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So basically, as you and your aunt are fighting monkeys, you see that she's got basically everything kind of on lock in the sky, and you would see that Scarlet and Ricky have reached the loop where you know this fake fucking Mitch is inside. So if you would like to join them, you absolutely can. You would see also that Heather is scrambling to try to, she's with JD as they're trying to get the queen where she needs to go back to her castle. How would you like to do this?
He's gonna approach, zap one more down just for good measure as he's coming in, and kind of make an approach and land next to the rest of them. Say, should we make our way in? Is it time? Do we get him?
Yep.
Ricky nods.
Okay. All right.
Did you see what we just did there?
I was defying gravity, man. I don't know what to tell you.
She would hold up her hand for like, she's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, let's go. Let's go fuck up this Casey guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, we need to sever the tether as well. I don't know what it is, but we need to do that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And Casey, we're gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
Heather, you see them all at the entrance as you are moving away with JD and the Queen. What do you do? You said what you wanted to do, but what do you do?
Yeah, so I just damn it, Greg, damn it. Heather's drive is I want to keep my friends together with me.
Oh, I know it is.
and she has to choose between a family and her friends, and it sucks. But she's gonna say, JD, you got to keep going. I'm sorry, you have to keep going. You have to go. Promise me. We'll see each other again. I promise. I promise I'll figure it out.
He just nods. It's
And
your
then
story.
she turns back and runs to Ricky and Scarlet.
Then I will say, friends, as 4, you walk into the loop. Once you get inside, you doesn't take you long to realize that this structure is really dominated by one central room. In this room, as you all walk into it, it's like an auditorium where someone might give like an encouraging self-help seminar. But in the middle is a device with a swirling portal just beneath it, just like on the floor, almost like a wishing well. Rob, you have seen a portal like this before. You've walked through a portal like this before. You have, it took you to spots unknown and Garrett's unknown. And it seems to be very similar to that, only very unstable. Instead of a perfect sphere, it morphs like a raindrop. And through this spinning, whirling place, you can see Garrett. In fact, you see the front of the paperback exchange with a sign that says, closed, but not forever. Just above this device, strung up in an X, is Van Halen. And just in front of her is the wizard Mitch. My friends, what do you do as Ricky rolls a force? Or not?
Ricky is on 3, I believe, right? Or is he on 4?
He's on 3.
He will not roll a force. I'll go to 4.
The two of you, Scarlet, Heather, you're the two closest to Ricky. You feel heat coming off of him. I need you each to roll and empathize as the ground starts to shake and then subsides and this heat emanates from Ricky.
None for Scarlet. Nice.
2 for Heather.
Ricky is tied to the land. Whether it's your magic telling you or just your friendship, you know exactly what this is. When the ground is shaking, he's reacting. This is the 3rd time you've seen it.
It's with whatever's happening with the Age of Always, Scarlet, it's hurting Ricky. We gotta fix it, and we need to fix it fast.
She nods, and she like gets that determined look on her face, and she turns and like starts walking towards this structure, and she looks up at the wizard, and she goes, "Hey, dick fingers!"
Yes!
Let our friend go!
Oh, for fuck's sake! Can't you take a goddamn hint?
No, we're 14 years old. You idiot.
We're
a 20-something Rob is there as well.
also
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
secretly 14.
Hello,
Frank!
fellow teenagers.
Frank, handle this. And he continues
You all-
working his craft.
What is he doing? Can we tell?
You would all see that the lock that he had is on the ground beside him. That's it. No investigation roll for that. No investigation roll for this either, as you hear heavy footsteps headed your way as the shadows just off to the side of the machine begin to move. And 12 feet of Frankenstein's monster comes walking around the corner.
Jesus.
He's got 12 feet.
Yep,
God damn it.
he's fast. He's super fucking fast.
12 feet.
You were
Man.
thinking humanoid monster.
Yeah. You know what? I fucking knew that as soon as I said that. I'm like, fucking Frags is gonna absolutely, or Mike, one of those two is gonna hit.
What's scary about a
Try
big
to be,
man? How
try to be
about
colorful. Try to,
a
never
12-foot
gonna
monster?
work.
That's what you
I'm
get.
sorry. I know it's a serious moment.
Dude, I'm kidding. It's Atari Twilight. I love it. Yeah. So you see this 12-foot tall Frankenstein's monster come around the corner. Unlike the benevolent Dr. Archivillian Frankenstein's monster that Rob and everybody experienced in their adventures, this one looks like a flesh golem from D&D. It is patched and stitched together. This is like the reboot of Frankenstein and not the 1950s movie. This is a corpse that has been sewn together from different bodies, has been augmented. It has some of those steam that instead of bolts, it has those gouts of steam that just shoot out, lending to its steampunk type of qualities. But it is making a beeline to you as the wizard Mitch begins to work. And friends, I am going to give you all one action right here before I make Ricky roll something. What would you like to do?
For narrative, you see anyone not distracted by the 12 feet of this monster, you would see the wizard pull out a device that, for our reference, looks kind of like the PKE meter from Ghostbusters. So it is a long sort of wand that sort of opens up, and Scarlet, you would recognize this device as something you saw. As he takes this thing, activates it, and slots it into a machine, and you watch it like lights light up as it uses your blood to help stabilize the portal, and the portal goes from to a much more rounded out shape as he is trying to strengthen this tether.
Yeah, and she says, "You didn't ask my permission to do that.
Actually, I did.
Not to do whatever you're doing just there." And she's gonna point her guns at him. "Stop what you're doing."
No. Children.
Could she try and shoot the machine?
Oh, absolutely. If you want to shoot the machine, go for it.
Does anyone have any objections?
The
to
one,
that?
the one out of his hand, or the
The locator, as he called it.
Yeah, absolutely. This will require 2 successes, but
Yeah.
maybe some luck.
So
I'm sorry.
yeah,
He called
I
it
don't
a-
have
it's
any.
called a- It's called a Mitchometer. Thank you very much.
Mitchometer, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
the
called
first time he
it's
said
called
it
the
was
Q,
his
it's
first
the
time.
QKE Mitchometer. Come on now.
First time he called it just the locator, and so I have 2 conditions. So how does that come into effect with my D12 roll?
Just roll your D12 separately. Those are different.
Okay.
I don't distract from those, or detract from those, I should say.
Okay. 2
And that's 2 successes. So, Mitch, Casey, as soon as you put the thing into and the portal stabilizes, it explodes as soon as you pull your hand away from a gunshot from Scarlet, and the portal immediately goes back to being wobbly.
2 of them. He's like no, and she's like,
Boom! Yeah, and it just explodes beside you.
Who is
What's
giving
everyone else
guns
wanna
to
do?
Children?
Give a gun to children.
So I still have my Emerald Glider.
You sure do.
ooh.
I'm gonna hop on it, and I'm gonna make a beeline for the wizard. I'm
Fantastic.
gonna try to, up and over Frankie or around or whatever, however I could possibly make this happen. And I want to try to make my way to Casey and tackle him.
Absolutely. So roll me a D12 since you're using your powers that you have been gifted.
8.
You are able to achieve the appropriate elevation. You are able to get over the reaching arms of the 12-footed Frankenstein, and yeah, his hands are very short. He just has 12 feet, so he can't get to you.
Frankenrex.
Yeah. The Dr. Arkaville thought, if I give him 12 feet, he won't need hands. But now look, hoisted on his own petard. So as you're able to make it over, I'm gonna have you roll a force roll. You're just trying to ram him, right? Ram the wizard.
Yeah, I want to tackle him because honestly, at the end of this, there is no magic items or special spells that are going to happen. I just want him to catch these hands.
Then I'm going to have this happen. I want you to roll a force, and Mike, I want you to roll a d12. If you can. If you're logged into Roll20, which I think you are.
I got 0 successes, so...
I'm sorry, I'm really...
You can push or... d12.
Yeah, D12.
Yeah, I want to push.
I rolled a 12. What does that do?
Hold on, let me push. Let me push it. Let me push it.
Real good.
What did I get?
Does a 12 break it, Greg?
Oh, I got 0 successes again. So no, yeah, you clotheslined me off of my glider.
Mike, tell me how you destroy the glider beneath Rob's feet and send him flying toward the portal.
I think, this is the loop. And this isn't just a loop. This is the wizard's loop. There's an effect that, the Age of Always, the denizens of the Age of Always, who aren't as scientifically advanced as someone such as any variant of Mitch would be, and they take it for granted with magic and flight, and he just spins a dial on I assume there's like a bank of machines here. He spins a dial on this machine, and I think this kind of affects everyone on a 12, probably including Frankie for a little bit. But he just cranks the gravity all the way up. So Rob flies and just plummets, and the crystal thing shatters as he just eats it into the ground.
Yeah, you stole it. I was gonna say, yeah, defying gravity. Fuck you, right?
Not on my watch. We don't make puns here.
So as the gravity gets heavy for everybody, and Scarlet, you just fired off those 2 shots, and your arms both start to drop. The weight of the gun and everything seems to be increased 5-fold more than like Earth's normal. And as the glider comes down and shatters beneath your feet, Rob, you forward. Without any successes, you slide and your feet go into the portal, and you are able to literally catch yourself going all the way through. As you will see, basically half of Rob is in the portal and half is still on the ground outside. He is prone in front of the wizard. Ricky,
Greg, you want to run that back a second? You roboted.
Oh, fuck me, man. God damn. All right. So basically, as the gravity increases, everybody's arms get heavy. Rob's glider goes down and shatters, and Rob is hanging half in and half out of the portal. He is prone at the feet of the wizard.
Where you should be.
We have we're all weighed down by gravity, is that right?
Yeah, but we're going to say that this is all simultaneous movement because there's no real initiative. So these are all action. That's why Scarlet shots were able to go off. Everybody's doing something at once here. The wizard can react to anything that's done to him, but at the same time, if there's something you wanted to do that gravity would have fucked it up, you can have a chance to do that beforehand. So it's all happening at the same time.
I think Heather's next move, since this is happening at the same time, was to try to free VH. So she's tied up. Is that correct?
It doesn't look like she's tied up as much as her arms and feet are in the machine, almost like a Professor X cover of X-Men, Wolverine inside the machine type of stuff. It looks like she is part of the machine, if that helps at all.
So there's no releasing her from the machine. Does the machine look breakable in any way?
The machine looks incredibly sturdy.
Mhm.
That's not to mean you can't break it. I'm just, casual observation. You're looking at a large piece of machinery that would require, demolition. If you're going to take down like a steel works in a factory, this is the type of shit you're looking at. It's massive. It's big. If you knew what to hit, like the vital components of it, you could probably disable it. But just looking at it, pure destruction is going to be real tough.
All right. So then, since all of this is happening at the same time, the machine looks too big. Doesn't look like she can release VH. Her next target would have been Casey the Wizard. How far away is the Wizard?
Oh, he's probably about 50 feet.
50 feet up? Or
No, the Wizard's on the ground. Yeah.
On the ground. That's too long to run. So it's going to have to be magic. So she's going to pull her itty bitty book light again. We haven't been using the itty bitty book light iconic item bonuses either up until now, but I'd like to call on that now if we could.
Absolutely. Yes, please.
Great. So I'm going to roll a D12 and then roll 2D6. Is that how that would go?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So got 11 and 11. And then 2D6s is another success.
It's three successes. What do you want to do when you call upon your magic focused on the Wizard?
I think her intention is less to harm him than it is to break him away from his gizmo, just as Scarlet was attempting to do. So further separation, I guess. Maybe, yeah.
Pick him up and maybe like move him or something.
Oh, I love that. Let's spin him around.
Would you like to? I'm not going to. You're spinning him around, so I'm not going to try to influence this at all. He's spinning in the air. Is there some place you'd want him to go?
Do we want him through the portal, y'all? Rob does, so that's what we're doing. We're going to push him through the portal.
I don't know.
Okay. So, Mike, what I'm going to allow you to do in this moment, as Ricky, you're on deck, you feel yourself lifted despite the gravity that you just turn on. And as you're moving, you realize that you are rocketing towards the portal that Rob is half in and half out of. I will allow you to roll a D12 using your own magics. What would you like to attempt to do? This is basically a saving throw at this point.
Oh, 2 successes.
2 successes.
Greg, guys, before many of these episodes, Greg sends me a page of things that are, possible potential plot hooks. This wasn't one of them, but it sure as fuck will be. With an 11, Greg, I assume, given being a success, given what I've seen thus far, he doesn't activate anything to stop this. A master of the sciences, he realizes where he's going, and the only thing he does is as he flies by it, he grabs the lock before he is thrown into that portal.
Then, without further ado, Rob, you would basically feel as the Wizard Mitch rockets into the portal behind you. Is there anything you want to try to do? This would be like a reaction that you would take a big roll to like stop it or do something like that, but I will allow you to try something.
If I can stop it, I would like to, but ultimately I'm going to try to grab him at the very least. The goal is to obviously pull him down to me. But if I get yanked along with him, I get yanked along with him.
Roll me a force.
All right, cool. Not my best stat.
You can push this.
Luck?
Yeah.
No luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna push it one more time.
Come on. Yes.
So here's what Scarlet, Ricky, and Heather see. As Heather's magics rocket the wizard Mitch into and through the portal to Garrett Prime, you see Rob leap from the side, and together they both have hold of the lock as they are fighting for it in midair, as they are spinning for a second outside of the portal, and they disappear inside. The Age of Always begins to shake. Ricky, I need you to make a force roll.
One success.
You remain conscious, Ricky, as you both turn around as gravity is still weighty because he didn't turn that off. He left that on whenever he got sucked through and disappeared. So, Ricky, you fall backwards and you hear Ricky hit the ground, his white hat kind of circling in an augmented fashion beside him as the weight kind of grabs it too. And you see that the portal is incredibly destabilized at this point. The question that I now ask of the 3 Keystones that are standing here, Garrett Prime is through that portal. You must sever this magic, or the Age of Always will be destroyed. Do you go through? Ricky, you must stay.
If Ricky is able to get up, he would begin to make his way to VH. And he looks to the others and says, the only chance to get out of here is to go now. Go.
Are you coming,
Jump
Ricky?
through the portal now. I need to sever it from here. I have to stay. I cannot leave.
Well, we have to stay too, right, Scarlet?
You can't stay.
What?
You need to go home.
I don't have a home,
Isn't
Ricky.
that the... Then you need to make your choice, but this is going to sever the connection. From what I've been told, there's no coming back.
And Scarlet like scowled at that. Never say never. And she turns to Heather. That thing is back in Garrett. The nothing. We can't leave Rob with that psycho.
But Scarlet, everybody's here and Ricky's here. It's just you and me against Psycho? Can't you don't think that we can figure something out from here?
I don't know. But I can't let it. I can't do nothing. I can't let our home just be destroyed. That's what was the whole point of this. Was to save our home.
There is no wrong decision here, my friends. What would your characters do?
But I see you changed your mind.
I couldn't let you guys do this alone. But I thought we'd all be together, you know?
Yeah. Well, we always will be together. And she looks at Ricky. He's part of this place now, aren't you?
He just nods.
I think I need to stay here, Scarlet, but you know I love you.
Yeah, she smiles and gives her a hug.
figure out how to help you, okay?
I know you will. And I'm not going to give up either. Yeah, I think she will kiss her on the cheek and then give Ricky a hug, too.
He embraces Scarlet and he says to her, Miss Casper did say that we can use the library. I don't know if that's still going to be possible, but we'll try.
We'll do whatever it takes, right?
I'll see you in your dreams.
She just gives her her trademark grin, and then she turns and runs and dives through the portal. Just like the time when she dove after Ben.
Go to your Spotify playlist, please, and play Loved by the Sun, track number 12. A moment later, with the help of Heather, Ricky, you are able to get VH detached from the machine, and the portal immediately disappears. The world stops shaking, though there are still chaos and destruction around, but it's alive. It is always. And you all are, over the next months, years, Ricky, you become strong again as the world around you heals. And as we see the age of always return to its multi-seasonal glory of snow and flowers, of colored leaves and new birth, we see people being ferried across the Eternity Road by a white-hatted Ricky Lewis. Everybody clapping him on the back. You see somebody handing him fruit that he nods to and takes a bite of. The place seems strong, untainted. And there along the seashore in the Azure Citadel, Heather, despite your best efforts, the Queen has passed. And though nobody rests in the court, in a room alone, we see Heather resplendent in a gown made for both queen and witch, slowly take a seat upon the twisting edges of the Mobius throne. The Queen has returned, and the age is strong. But I will leave what is floating in Heather's mind to Melissa. Whether it's thoughts of Keystones, of adventures past, or the adventures yet to come. The age is safe. It lives, it breathes, and it is filled with kindly souls. As the portal extends around Scarlet when she dives through, you feel yourself being pulled, much like you did before, much like when you almost were lost inside the seas, when JD had slipped and we needed to rely on your strength. You feel that strength that was lost during that transference returning. And for some reason, you feel bigger, you feel stronger. And when you arrive, you realize immediately that you are not in Garrett. You are in a crowd of people. And you are taller. There's a ring on your finger. And you see as the crowd parts, Ben and Jerry run up to you from that concert in Scranton. And you realize that you are older, 24, 25. Ben runs up to you. Oh my God, was that you? Was that younger you?
Yeah. I think she did it.
Then it's time. Jerry runs up. Are we getting the band back together?
Scarlet just grins.
Journeys can only be called such in retrospect, for in the moment they are simply life. In the age of always, journeys never end. Adventures always await the brave or foolhardy. Heroes rise and heroes fall. Their stories are not told and forgotten. Their accomplishments, while momentous, are temporary. But legends, legends are something quite different. Legends find purchase not in the minds of those that hear their tales, but in their hearts. And legends of the heart can never be misplaced or forgotten. For now, our legends will rest in our hearts, waiting for the next time they are needed. The Keystones have many legends left in them, but that is another story. For us, the time has come to turn our gaze to the next chapter of this never-ending tale, as we step away from Atari Twilight, the age of always, and step toward a moment where legends made of Keystones and Autobots will challenge the very ink of their written tale. Friends, if you could do me a favor at the end of our session, go down to the very last song on your playlist and play Super Unknown by Soundgarden. And for our second post-credit scene, Rob, Garrett is around you. Sometime during the flight through the portal, you lost purchase with the wizard Mitch, and he and the lock went spinning out into the void. But so did you. The only thing remaining was the intent of the spell that was delivered, and that was to get you to Garrett Prime. But right now, Garrett Prime cannot be accessed, at least not to you. So the spell searches. It has to find Garrett Prime. It has to find a place for you to drop. And it does. One extra second. Rob, as you crash to the ground and you look up, you see Garrett. It is darker, older. The air smells stale, like a corpse just at the time of rot. And you hear from behind you, "Oh my, it's my oldest friend. Come to play, have you, Robert? Do you want to play, Rob? Do you want to float?" And you hear a shot go off as the entity known as Pennywise scurries away in fear. And as you raise your gaze up to one of the hills, a hill that contains a very square-looking bush, you see a figure thought lost. Mitch, Rob Ott is in the spare second.
Hey, buddy. Lost you there for a minute.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare hellscape.
Where's the lock?
And that is where we end this tale. The age turns as we walk Eternity Road, and before us lies another adventure as we prepare for Atari Midnight, Episode 1, Alive in the Super Unknown.
Ooh.
Hell fucking yeah. Fuck yeah. That was awesome. What a finale. Cool. Guys, what I gotta say is you're gonna want to check out this after show. And to do so, join us over on our Patreon, link in the description down below. While you're joining us on that link, join us in the Discord, talk about this show, all the rest of Atari Twilight there with our ravenous fans. But I want to get to our outros so that we can get the hell out of here and talk about this in the after show. So I will start with our wonderful guest star to the age of always. Frags, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
I am Canopy Frags or Gooch Cramp or Kindle. Please don't find me. No, I'm Discord. I do have a Twitter and stuff, but I'm not super active. But I'm here. I've been around for a while, so if you need me, you could probably. If you really need to find me, you can.
Hell yeah. G, the only Keystone to successfully make it back to Garrett Prime. Who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello, I'm the friendly neighborhood lightning invoker. You can find me in all things, for all things unmade gaming. I'm in all the Patreon games. We didn't have our one shots on yesterday, but we're rescheduling them. Looks like for May 10th. And you'll see me in the Patreon campaigns with Chris for the Rise and for Mundus Novus with Melissa. And you'll find me in the Discord all the time.
Perfect. Chris, you're up next. The very essence of the age of always himself. Chris, who are you? Where can we find you, and what are you up to?
I'm Chris Aiken-Necker. You can find me in the Age of Always. That's about it. Also Discord and nowhere else.
Perfect. And Melissa, the queen who sits, the queen who sat, and the queen who will forever sit the Mobius throne. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Who am I? I don't know. I'm still I'm somewhere between me and my character right now. I am Drathier in the Discord, and I'm in a lot of the games that G talked about. And you can find my fan art for all of Mike and Greg's cool games on gameswithstories.com.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, the very essence of Atari Twilight itself. Greg, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
The age of Atari himself.
Right. First and foremost, the essence of Atari Twilight surrounds me. The characters that populate this world are the very soul of any world in which they walk. So I am blessed to be surrounded by fantastic players, both the Keystones and the Autobots, including Bacon and everybody who has come before and we have played with. Incredibly talented people. It's a privilege to just share stories with everyone. You can find me if you're in the mood to watch my stupid ass react to videos over on Warp Reactor on YouTube. Just sci-fi and fun, friends. But this is where my heart lies, along the table of Atari Twilight and the tales that everyone here tells so brilliantly, and I get the front row seat for it. So until such time as both Atari Midnight and the continuation of the Keystone story
Hell yeah.
With a perfectly robotic ending. That was outstanding. That is it for us. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this finale, this series, The Age of Always, and I hope you are very excited for Atari Midnight, coming TM soon. That being said, we're going to get out of here. We love your faces. That's it from us. Bye-bye.